Good evening and salutations, my Y&R fans. Okay, so we're going to start off with Chelsea and Adam. Because I'm going to be honest, ever since Chelsea started working at started working at Newman, she has gotten on my last goddamn nerves. Okay? I understand on some level this need to sit there and protect your friends and be loyal and everything like that. But like, girl, you walking up in somebody else's company and start practically telling them what they will or what they won't do. Like, you worked with Victor before, you know how Victor operates. And, Adam's like, maybe Billy may be a part of Kane's, team or whatever. And listen, just to give you a heads up, we take down Kane, Billy may get caught up in the crossfire. She's not there talking about, well, I may need proof. You think Victor's going to sit there and wait for some goddamn proof? This is a level of like, you are so far. you are so far off course on how shit is really going down at Victor at Newman Enterprises, right? You really think that Victor is gonna be like, oh, you know what, Adam, I'm gonna give your girlfriend some time to sit there and see if there's any proof that Billy is actually working with Kane, and then she can sign off on our plan to sit there and take down both of them. Fucking no. And she even admits that. So she's like, listen, give me time to sit there and talk to him. Give me time to sit there and see if he's really aligning with Kane. Because if he's aligning with Kane, then hey, all bets are off. You think Victor's going to sit there and wait for that? The answer is obviously no. There really shouldn't even be a doubt. The answer is obviously no. I'm so sick and tired of Phyllis and this vendetta, this vendetta, because she there's a point where, and I'm just gonna skip this part. This irritating ass conversation with Kane and Phyllis talking business and her asking a bunch of questions. So it's like, girl, you didn't even fully get the job yet. He can sit there and tell you the kid rocks. I feel like at this point, like, she asked certain questions. The questions that she sit there and asked is the same questions that Kane would sit there and shut down if it was Holden. Because Holden started asking, why are you doing this? What's the point of that? I don't understand. But what Phyllis does it's just more amusing than anything else, right? But this conversation is just idiotic. And halfway through, she snipped there saying like, oh, well, you gotta trust Billy, and Billy fired me, and this, that, and the third. It's like, girl, you are a grown-ass 60-year-old woman who is doing nothing but blaming Billy for the simple fact that he took you on, knowing that you still had issues to deal with. But you kept saying, well, we gotta get Daniel on board. We gotta get Daniel on board. Billy warned her multiple times, hey, listen, you keep pushing me, gonna fire your ass. She pushed too many times. He was like, all right, you're fired. And she was like, what? You're firing me? And now she keeps trying to talk in his ear, trying to talk in Kane's ear about Billy. There's a point where she's sitting there talking to Billy. She was like, oh, well, see, I don't trust you. You it's the second time that, you fired me. I was like, oh my God, seriously, Phyllis? Honestly, tell you the truth, I can see why you're single. I can see exactly why you're single. Okay? Because no man wants to sit there and have to put up with you just being a goddamn headache. But, at some point she does come to Billy and Jack. But, Billy and Jack, Billy actually tells Jack about Kane going after Jabot and Newman and Winters and Chancellor and pretty much any other business that he deems worthy. And I was surprised. And there was one point he was like, listen, for a hot minute, because at first Jack was like, so you told him hell no, right? You told him to go and F himself with a spiked dildo? And he was like, well, listen, I'm going to be honest. if that conversation didn't go so downhill with Joe, I'm just saying I thought about it for a minute. I was like, I'm sorry, what? But then he also sat there and said the reason why he didn't say no, because he wanted to see what kind of information he can get. I was like, okay, fine. I can accept that. I can accept you pretty much sitting there not telling him to kick rocks, just to see what's going on. And, Kane just sit there and say, listen, you can sit there and lie to me. You can sit there and tell Jack it's not stopping a damn thing. I'm getting that company. I don't care. I don't care if you sit there and talk. You know what? Why don't use my phone. That's how confident he was. And of course he went up telling Billy, he told Jack, and Jack was like, tell me yes. Tell me your sign on. Be the inside man, sit there and help save this company from whatever attack he got going on. One of the things I want to sit there and point out is that there's a point where Kane is like, could you hack into Jabot? Could you hack into new media? Could you hack it? And then all he says is, we're going to go shopping. We're going to go shopping. Whatever that means, that's, so that's interesting. And then there's a point where Phyllis is talking to, Phyllis walks up on Billy and Jack is like, all right, listen, I got my drink, I'm out. He leaves. And, there's a point where Phyllis is like, so, it's my imagination, or did I have the feeling that you were trying to sell Kane out? I mean, was you doing that? Just curious. And then it gets to a point where she's like, listen, it almost seemed like she was trying to represent Kane's interests, as though Kane said that. She was like, your offer has been rescinded. We don't need you. We don't need a weak link, so you can leave. But I'm not just trying to fire him without Kane's consent. And Billy's like, yeah, I'll hear from him. Kane takes a meeting with Victor. See, Victor called him in the beginning of the episode, and Kane was like, listen, it's getting kind of late. I wasn't really planning on going anywhere. Victor's like, oh, so you telling me it's past your bedtime? Okay, Victor. I see you. So he goes to the ranch. He gets summoned to the ranch. And long story short, Victor's like, let's go out to Jabot. Let's sit there and take down Jabot. Let's take down the Abbots, pretty much. And who knows? I feel like they're both going to use each other. They're both going to sit there and go out to the Abbots to weaken the Abbots, and then whoever, this is maybe just my imagination, whoever uses more resources or whatever, they're going to go out to each other. So if Victor uses more resources, then Kane's going to go out to Victor, because, the idea is like, I'll use you to go after Jabot. You take down Jabot, you won't have enough ammunition to sit there and fight me. Whatever the hell that's supposed to mean. But I could be wrong. Whenever they sit there and they talk business, I have no idea what the hell they're saying sometimes. I really don't. But, that show has been predicated on that for years. And then Adam was like, you're going to have to pick a side. You're like, you're going to have to pick a side. You're either going to have to pick Newman's, or you're going to have to sit there and pick Billy and whatever BS that's going on with him. But you're going to have to pick a side. And, listen. The fact that Victor didn't sit there and tell her that a long time ago, or even Adam at some point didn't tell him that a long time ago. I guess he didn't want to rock the boat. But he's at a point now where he's like, listen, his dad gave him a reprieve last time because, what he did for the family. Giving them a heads up and everything. But Victor's like, listen, if I tell you to do something and you don't do it, what I imagine him doing is not only is he going to sit there and fire Adam, but he's going to fire Chelsea as an example. And then Chelsea can be like, oh, I should have never sat there and worked here. I should have stayed in Marquette. Yeah, you guys should have stayed in Marquette, but you didn't because you're an idiot. Okay, now I feel like that's pretty much about it. I can't think of anything else. If I come across something, I will talk about it in the live stream. Make sure you share this video. Become a member if you're not a member already. I have a lot of fun stuff that's going on this weekend, as far as every weekend to come. So yeah, definitely become a member. Definitely share this video. You're not missing that they're harping all since what, Wednesday? I want some more Young and Restless viewers into the streams. You know, we get a lot of GH fans because GH is really popular. But I like to sit there and get some YNR fans in. And just to let you know, even when I'm in talking about GH, somebody wants to chime in and talk about YNR, I'm here for it. I did watch it. I got my notes, so I'm ready to go. Alright, with that being said, I'm going to go. I'll see you in the next video and next stream, which is tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific.